Hello, everyone. Today's topic is words and actions. Most of us are very familiar with sayings such as actions speak louder than words, but words have their own power too. Most of us know this because we've been hurt by someone who has given us strong words, or because we know the power of loving words that have been used toward us. So we need to be careful of our words, but we also need to be careful of our actions, because our actions will either back up what has been said, or they will show that there is really a disconnect, in which case the person is going to believe the actions rather than the words. For instance, in the Hawaiian culture, we have something called ho'oponopono. A lot of people think that this is forgiveness, but it's really not. It's more than that. It's using actions and words as a healing mechanism. Ho'oponopono actually means making right better. Thus, they're in the situation, whatever happened is not necessarily wrong, and there isn't necessarily a need for forgiveness. In fact, Hawaiian doesn't even have a word for forgiveness. But whatever happened can be made better with actions and words when all parties are acting in a way to bring about this healing. Now, there will always be one healer in this, and this person is kind of the guide of the ceremony. But there can be at least two people who are wanting this healing. And the words used during this ho'oponopono will all be positive. In fact, in the Hawaiian language, they only have a few letters, and most of those are vowels, all the vowels, but only a few consonants. And the reason they decided to do this was because they knew the power of words, and they didn't want to be creating too many words. They wanted much more communication to be through actions and personalities, and I wanted people to be very cognizant of what they were saying, and so they didn't want to make too many words. And thus, my cat, whose name is Lucky, which is as close as they come to having the word for lucky, doesn't exist, because luck doesn't exist in Hawaiian. It's all about your actions and your choices and whatever happens because of those choices. So the lack of having a lot of words means they're going to communicate in ways that are much more attuned with the physical body, but also the mental abilities. For instance, most of us who have plants, who grow plants, talk to our plants or play music for our plants. And there's even a scientific study, at least one, there's actually several, that show that plants respond to our emotions. Plants given a lot of love will grow much better, and plants that are given a lot of not love, whatever that happens to be, will have a very difficult time growing. Plants that are in a calm, peaceful environment grow better than those that are in a stressful environment. That's a form of communicating without words and without physical body. This was very, very important to the Hawaiians, and it is still important to us today. When you are around a person, any person, who happens to be sending off really angry signals, it doesn't make you feel comfortable. You can feel that. when you're around someone who truly appreciates and loves you, you can feel that too. So the point of this is to be very cognizant of the words we use, to think before we speak, and to always, always keep the other person in mind and keep them in your heart and in your love when you're speaking to them. Thank you for joining me today.